Hello, today I'm going to explain how the whole story began. I'm Patrick Bogaerts, president of GPS Monaco Group based in Monaco. So what products can be produced competitively? Well, think about it, more than 30 million factories in China. So there is plenty of choice. So now how can you identify your product, or how can you follow up the development of your products or product? There are different ways. We can organize fairs where we go together. Fairs in Asia are in another scale than you ever saw before. I think the biggest McDonald's turnover is done in the Guangzhou fair in China twice a year, which has 3 phases, and each phase has many different type of industries. But even if the area is so big, well, they split it up just to be sure that they can cover the entire possibilities that they can offer. So this is a way you can go to such a kind of fair, so where you have many suppliers. It's more or less to find a good idea. I don't think it's the best idea to find the really best supplier, but at least it's to identify the product, and maybe it could be a supplier you could be reliable on. That's one point. You can also go to specialized fairs. Almost in every product, in every industry, you have a fair in Shanghai or in Hong Kong or in Guangzhou or in Beijing, where you have fairs that will, for instance, only provide products for hotel restaurants, another for hospitals, another more related to products, electronic products you can sell on Amazon, for instance. So this is a way to get products and IDs. Another way is to do a road trip, and you're gonna visit different factories, and in those factories you're gonna do the different showrooms. So we can organize this upfront. So you organize it from A to Z, and once you arrive there, we go with the van. We go from factory to factory, and you can see all those samples. You can hold them in your hands and at least have a quick. It's a quick way to make decisions. Much less time consuming and cost saving is doing this by FaceTime or Teams or Zoom meetings, but then at least we can go in the factory, or one of our team goes there, and you are in real time connected. It shows you everything. You can ask questions, and if you identify one or more products, we can just send them out to you, and you receive them at your office or at your home. So this is also an approach. And then another way is just to tell us which product category you are looking for, and then we supply you with digital catalogs, and also with product files from the latest releases from some factories. I'm going to speak about another example for you, and it was made for a major brand in the soda industry, and they wanted to design a lamp with a statue, a wooden base, and just a nice design. Let's make it simple. And they tried it for several months, and it took 6 months and now 1 year. And when they finally met us, they said, look, we have this, we have 3 months to go. If we can't do it within 3 months, the project is finished. And it was instructed by the president of this group, so they really wanted to achieve their goals. So the only way that I identified to find a solution was to go with the customer in China. So I find a location where we had the different factories that were required to make that product, because we need a wood basement, so that's one type of supplier. Then you had the lighting included, so you need lighting accessories. And we had a glass bulb that was sandblasted with the logo of the client. We need a really special color box that could be straight away sent out for mail order to send to the different clients. And we needed a statue that was a symbol of the action, of the promotion action. So I used a designer that made statues for Disney, who designed us the statue there. He redesigned it to adapt it to the lamp. And finally, when we arrived there, during 1 week, we could set up the entire production chain. And we had quite an issue because the glass bulb was sandblasted. We had an issue when the workers did it, because it was hand done. they would make a hole in the glass, and so we had to throw it away. So it was like 60, 70, 80% that had to be thrown away, which was not a major issue, but we had finally a big issue because we didn't have enough glass balls anymore. So finally we did it. Everything had to come by plane, but we could we could obtain a good result just by saying it's also our responsibility to explain you if you really want to do it, and you come 1 year later to us with no solution, that we can provide it, even if it asks one of our guys to go there with you, and to be very careful on our side to have a solution with all the factories very closely located, so we do not waste time traveling in China. I'll tell you another secret. So we had a Swiss group which was owned by an American investment fund, and they came to us with a very complicated project. They had 60 people based in China, and they couldn't make the product. So I don't gonna go into detail, but I just gonna tell you in a few sentences how did we find a solution. Is that there is a big difference in Asian culture and in our Western cultures. So, for instance, when you ask a factory if they can do it, they will always say yes. Because if they even know they can't, they will always think about someone they can subcontract it to, and so they will say yes. If they know you and just being polite, they will say yes because they don't feel comfortable saying no to you. Also, by the way, a yes don't have a lot of engagement for Chinese people, so it's just culture. It's not if I say yes, I'm gonna reply to you. I will reply to you. Chinese factories is quite some different, and so their team, in fact, they took local people and they just sent them over there. So you send, of course, knowledge, but not especially international purchasing knowledge. You just replace from one city to another city on the other side of the world the same team, which I think is not the best solution as a first reason. So what we did is we went to, and I was there as well, I went to the Swiss factory that was making those products at the time, and I was looking at those industrial production lines. So I was taking all the pictures and all the organization that was happening in this Swiss factory. So I knew exactly what I had to find on the China side. So our team, we made a complete factory research plan where we identified all the equipment the factory should have before we would launch any inquiry. So finally, we identified some factories. Then again, we went to number one. So we identified that one very best factory that had all the equipments. And in less than 3 months, we were producing those products.